Hello and welcome back to the Grianaig Creations podcast. My name is Kirsty and this is episode 49. So off the bat, I'm just going to say you might hear some background noise. I live in a very tourist town on with a port, and a cruise ship is literally just leaving, and it's honked its horn and everything, but because it's leaving, you might hear any music or film that the cruise ship is currently playing, so bear with me. Shouldn't take too long for the boat to pass, but just in case you can hear some background noise, I have pulled over the window purely because of the seagulls to begin with, but then I started hearing the music, so yeah. Everything happens when you start to sit down and record a podcast. That's when everyone starts making noise, that's when everything starts leaving, and cars and seagulls and boats, and I'm watching a neighbour park so badly. It's a tiny car as well. It's a shame. There's so many people watching it. I'm going to stop. But yes, welcome back to my podcast. Off the bat, we'll just say that you can find me on Instagram as Grianaig_creations. You can find me on Ravelry as little-b. You can also find me on Facebook as Grianaig Creations, but I don't know, I've not promoted that one as much, but you can find it there and you can go like the page. You can also find the Grianaig Creations forum on Ravelry as well, or group, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, let's jump in, shall we? I don't normally do a kind of like week in review, but something happened a couple of weekends ago which slightly coincided with today, and I really want to talk about it because it's just made me so happy. Excuse me, and I'm going to apologise now. I am drinking cider, so I don't know if anyone else gets it, but you burp when you have cider. But it's Saturday and it's been a long week, and I've finished all my Perth prep as of literally about half an hour ago. So I am having a cider to chill. But yes, I now know the neighbour that... Right, okay, sorry. The lassie that was struggling to park is my neighbour who just passed her test. And my understanding now of driving tests is that you don't get that much chance to not driving tests, but driving lessons. You don't always get the best parking practice. But she got there and she's done pretty well. So she also had a very small child in the car to distract her. I'm going to shut up now. This is a knitting podcast, not a Can Somebody Park Their Car podcast. But yes, a couple of weekends ago now, my local yarn shop, the Wee Crafty Owl, had a demo day that I was taking part in. I was primarily there to do like a demonstration of spinning with my Ash for Joy spinning wheel. And I also had my rigid head roller with me as well. And there was a really young lassie that turned up, and she was fascinated with the spinning. She's 13 and she is brilliant when it comes to any form of fibercraft. And she really wanted to learn to drop spindle. And annoyingly, I had decided against taking my drop spindle because I was already just taking so much equipment with me that I didn't want to add a drop spindle to the list. So she came along and she was so curious about drop spindling, and thankfully another lady that was doing the fabric walking demonstration had brought her spindle, so she was able to demonstrate. But I was showing her how to like do the drafting and the general gist of spinning and your aim, so putting the twist in, how you would then ply, that sort of thing. And she was fascinated, truly fascinated. And then I went into the yarn shop today, and her and her mother were in the shop, and she actually did get a drop spindle. She was so intrigued after myself and Innes talked and showed her about drop spindling that she actually went out and got her own drop spindle, and she is loving it. Although her mum is not enjoying finding little bits of fibre everywhere and having to hoover them up. But I have said to her that anything about more than that to save, because otherwise you're going to be wasting a fair bit of fibre. So I thought that was really good to talk about. The demo day in general was really, really good. We had a lot of people coming in. We had a big cruise ship in that day as well, one of the biggest that come into the port. And so we had a fair few tourists in as well, which was really good. And then we had the walking group. Someone was there to demonstrate needle felting, someone was there demonstrating crochet. I had my loom, like I said, and my spinning wheel. So it was a very busy day and it was really, really good. A lot of people were really quite taken by it and thanked Mary for having it on. Sorry, I'm sitting very uncomfortable. So yeah, it was a good day and all, and I'm just so happy that this girl has really taken to spinning, and she's 13. Like, I don't even think I was into knitting at 13. It took me a few years after that to get into it, so I'm really, really blown away by that. And it was just so good to see like the smile on her face when she talked about it. But she is a true wee fibre genius. She crocheted a jumper for herself, like a pullover, no pattern, made it up as she went along. It fits perfect, and it's one of those things that you would see and you would want to make it yourself. So you never know, she could be a wee budding designer. Time will tell. I'm gonna like keep an eye on her, and I say keep an eye on her. I'm really gonna kind of hopefully help encourage her to become something really amazing, because she's already amazing, but the talent is there, and I hope that gets nurtured for the next couple of years and she has the confidence to take it to the level that she wants to. But yeah, I'll stop blathering on now. I might blather a wee bit at the end, but let's go on to some knitting, shall we? So I have one finished object and only 2 works in progress to show you, so this should be quite a relatively small or short podcast episode. Certainly shorter than some of my recent ones. So my first finished object literally got finished last night or the night before, and this is made out of my own hand-dyed yarn, and it is another V-neck magpie. So still to get blocked, still to have like that needs to get joined up, the ends need to get woven in, stitch markers need to be removed. But yes, I have made another V-neck magpie, and this is out of my own hand-dyed yarn, as I said. This is going to be not so much a sample at Perth, but it's going to be at Perth, and more details on that will come later on. I'm really, really happy with it. I did slight modifications. So I done a size that was 2 sizes smaller than the first one I knit, which I think really could, I can't remember. Oh no, I do have it here. I wasn't sure if I had the pattern. So I done, which size did I do? Fourth. I done size D. And again, I don't have a 6.5mm needle, so I knit this on a 6, so it's smaller than the size D technically. So I cast on for the size D, which is still plenty big for me, and then I expanded the colour block section to make it longer so that the armholes would be bigger, because I have severe bingo wings. So I wanted the armholes to be deeper, and I also wanted this colour blocking to be more flattering instead of just kind of like halfway across my chest. I wanted it to kind of sit under my chest slash my waist. So I have extended the colour block. Like I say, this needs blocked. And then when I moved on to the main portion of the body, I took out the purl row that's in the pattern. So this is all stockinette. I kind of love the pulling that's in this. It's just different. So that's that side. Done. You might see that this is kind of flaring out. I've done a couple of increases to accommodate my round belly. So it sits a lot nicer. It's a lot more flattering. And there is the I-cord bind off at the bottom, which is rolling up just because, as I've said, this is not blocked. So I'm really excited about this. I love wearing mine, but I needed it to be longer. So this is actually kind of sits where, just below my waist. No, not below my waist. I have a very high waist. It sits about my hips. So I've lengthened it considerably. It's no longer a crop. Which means that this should hopefully become a lot more wearable. And I also done longer sleeves as well. So these sleeves actually come down to about my elbow crease. So in total, in general even, I really, really like this. I can't wait to get it blocked. I'll be blocking it tonight so that it's plenty dry for coming with me to Perth. And these two yarns, both of these will be available at Perth as well. And if they don't sell out at Perth, they will be available on my Etsy, in case anyone wants to make one. But yeah, it's just a really nice kind of charcoal grey with a variegated mustard yellow. Or sunshine yellow, whatever you want. Golden yellow. Let's call it that. Coming up way more yellow on the screen than it is in real life. But yeah, my one and only finished object. And like I say, I'm only going to show 2 works in progress because I've only really been working on 2 things. And I'm going to show off the smaller one that has received a lot less love. And that is a pair of socks. Oh no, technically I have a second finished object actually. I've talked about this on the show before. And in general Kirsty style, the ends still have not been woven in. But my sock design has 2 finished socks now. I know it's like a week till I want to release this and I'm only just kind of getting on the bandwagon of getting things done. So these are the undercurrent socks that I have designed. These will be available at Perth. And this is Knit in Giddy Sock by Giddy Yarns. And this is the hide and seek colourway. And like I say, the pattern has been test knitted. There's just a couple of tweaks that still need to be done, but that's more to do with gauge and sizing. The pattern itself is absolutely fine. I just need to get the gauge and sizing. Waiting for a few people come back to me with their gauge to see if it matched mine. So yeah, these are going to be ready to release at Perth. And I still have quite a bit of yarn left over, so I'm going to weigh this. I'm going to recake it and weigh it and see how much I had left so that I can also put that in the pattern. Given my foot length is quite long for a lady, I'm a UK 9 and I've done, for me, a fairly lengthy cuff, leg and cuff. So I'm quite curious to see how much is left in this so that I can also put that in the pattern, because in the pattern I do talk about the sample or the photographed example in the pattern, how many repeats are done here and then how many repeats are done here and then how many rows of ribbing are done. So I think it'd be really good to let people know just how much yarn they're going to have left over, but obviously that's going to be completely different for some people because they might want a longer leg, they might have a very short foot. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just going to be stated as the example for this pattern had X amount of yarn left over. Okay, so back to works in progress. Living in my Flu Fanta bag is another pair of socks, and it's going to be interesting to show these off because I'm not doing it in a way that's remotely helpful for myself. I'm just working on another of my pattern. So this is the undercurrent socks again. The purple for the toe is a random mini that I got sent, and this is the leftover of the sock blank from Stranded Dye Works. And I have cut the yarn because Smarty Pants Me did not bother to weigh how much yarn I had left, or half the amount of yarn I had left. So I had no way of knowing when to stop so that I could get an equal sock out of it. So I had to cut the yarn, cake it up, then work from the opposite side so that I can join these two together again. I know it's like going to be super variegated and stuff, and it's not going to matter too much, but I've kind of left it off on a really kind of palish pink, and I don't want to pick it up somewhere that's more orange or like more hot pink, if that makes sense. So I know that when I pick this back up, I'm going to be working from the inside, and for the second one I am working from the outside. It makes sense in my head, but I've definitely gone a very long roundabout way to get to this stage. So I'm hoping to get more work done on this, but this is definitely not the top of my working list or top of my to-do list. I do enjoy working on them, but if these are coming to Perth with me, I would much rather have a vanilla sock to work on rather than having to make sure that I am still in line with the pattern. So as much as the pattern is very intuitive, I haven't had to look at the pattern for this. I know it's my pattern and I wrote it and everything, but I still haven't had to look at the pattern to remind myself. I have the 4-row repeat like ingrained in my head, but it's more making sure it all lines up and I've not gone like one stitch too many or like one stitch too few. So yeah, I'm hoping to have cast on vanilla sock for Perth with some yarn that I have. But yeah, I have that much yarn left over. I'm trying to either use up the full ball, or my friend and I have been talking about possibly kind of doing a swap. We have similar sized feet, so whether one of us would need to use like a mini skein if we hadn't in the one that we'd knit ourselves, or what, we've still to work out the logistics and we've still to even figure out if this is going to go ahead. But if it does, it means that essentially, I don't know, it just makes sense that we've already knit a pair for ourselves, so why not swap yarns and then have a yarn that you never had to knit a pair of socks? Again, I'm kind of in one of those moods where I end up saying like 1,000 things for something that's really simple. So that's that work in progress. Now to readjust, bear with me. My second work in progress is a beast, absolute beast. For anyone curious, highly recommend Old Moot cider. One of my favourites. I remember when, as I was saying, I remember when Liz came over to Scotland and we met her in Glasgow. For those that don't know, I'm talking about Liz of the Just One In podcast, or Elizabeth Zimmerman. When she came over to Scotland, she was asking about cider. She's a cider person as well. And I was like, right, okay, let me introduce you to some amazing ciders. And I don't regret doing it, but at the same point, like, I kind of feel bad for doing it because she's not going to get them where she lives. So it's kind of like dangling something in front of a child and then saying, oh, but you can't have it after this time, whether you love it or not. So yeah, if you can get it, I recommend it. But back to the knitting. As I was saying, this is a beast of a project that I have shown off in the podcast before. I think it has significantly grown since the last time you guys seen it, as I'm still trying to get it out the bag. Okay, right, what's the best way to show this off? I currently have 2 sets of needles in this project. Right, let's do it this way. I did not put a progress keeper in, so I have no idea where I left this off. I think I was just finished this end. So this is the Changes Shawl by Mina Phillips. Look at that rainbow. Isn't that beautiful? So like I say, this is the Changes Shawl by Mina Phillips. And this is for the neck blanket mal that myself and Marcus of Fiberpunk are running. It finishes up on Monday. This is Saturday. So this is the 30th of August, which is terrifying. And it finishes on the 1st of September. So I'm hoping I'm going to get this done. But this is one half, or one side. And then I have got to this point. But this is the last section. I've actually put this much on. So I think I done a Instagram live and I was only maybe about maybe here. Or for no, I wasn't. No, I was. Now I'm getting confused. I done an Instagram live during the week and I hadn't even finished this because I referred to this as chevrons even though it's not a chevron. I hadn't finished this, but I think I was kind of close to the very last colour. So I think it was about Wednesday night I done that. And then I have working up half, and I am 5 colours in, 5 of my 10 colours in. So I hope tonight to get at least another 3 done, and then finish picking up and get the last 2 colours done tomorrow, and then start this section here, which is actually going to be knit this way whilst picking up these stitches. I have enjoyed this shawl. I really have enjoyed this shawl. It is a beast though. Like this already. Oh god, such a itchy nose. This is pretty much my wingspan just now, and I haven't finished the length of it. And then the width of it as well is pretty much the width of me. And I'm a big girl. I'm not saying that to try and get people to go, oh, you're not. I know I'm a big girl. I kind of own it. Kind of. So this is a big shawl. Or big wrap, should I say. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting it finished. I am really glad I started it. But between Perth prep and the shawl, I really just want to move on to other things. I know that must sound bad, but I really do. I want to sit down with a sewing machine and make clothes and not bags. I want to start knitting Christmas gifts, which I never ever really say, but I do. I'm looking forward to some, I'm not going to say selfish knitting time because it's not, but I'm just looking forward to the freedom to pick up the needles and maybe do a cast on or work between different projects and that sort of thing. Oh my god, my hay fever is driving me up the wall. Sorry guys, I do have hay fever and I don't normally suffer from it too badly. I'm quite lucky in that sense, but my nose is going crazy right now. But yeah, that's pretty much all my knitting. I do have other works in progress, but I haven't put any work on any of them. But what I plan on doing for September, possibly even into October, is kind of finishing things. I want to finish things that have been on the needle. So I have a pair of mittens, fingerless mittens that need completed. I have a crochet blanket I would like to rip out. I'm not even kidding, guys. I am ripping it out. I'm starting again. That center piece is driving me up the, like, I'm kind of a firm believer that if it doesn't annoy you, leave it as it is and just keep going. But this is annoying me. So I'm ripping out my crochet blanket and I'm starting again. I just want to have things finished, and I think that's going to be my goal for September and October, is just to finish things. I can start things, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I'm not allowed to cast things on, but I definitely want to try and get some things finished that have been on the needles for a while. Oh, there are people on this street that just park, like drive like mad people. I have 2 acquisitions I want to show off. I know I shouldn't have acquisitions before Perth, but I could not help it. One of them is by my dear friend. I wonder if you can see this with a glare. No. My dear friend Aileen, who I talk about on a very regular basis on this podcast, is the beautiful creator behind Little Bush Baby Makes, and she had a shop update, and I bought this beautiful stitch marker. I couldn't not buy it when she showed me it. Like, I'd seen this for a couple of weeks now, and then she had the shop update, and I was just like, yep, that's mine. That's coming to live with me. So I got it, and here are all her details. You can find her on Instagram as well, so at Little Bush Baby Makes, as it says here, and you can find her Etsy store. But yes, if you get the chance to buy from Aileen, I highly recommend it. And I'll go into more details about Aileen in a second, because that's kind of in relation to Perth as well. And then some more acquisitions I got were these. Hannah had a shop update, and she dyes all my colours. Like, she just, yeah, I can't really say any more than that. Her stuff is stunning. I envy her as a dyer. So initially I had these in my cart and I checked out. I got these 3. This was all that was meant to come home with me. This is Griffin, this is Wraith, and this one is Autumn Eladrin. Look at the colour in that, like, look how beautiful that is. And then the Griffin is similar, it's got some similar colourings, but it is darker, there's a lot more brown in it. And then Wraith is just this stunning green and grey black, and there's yellow in there as well. But I dropped her a message because I had seen that she had a colourway called Fuzzy Buzzy, but she only had it in a DK, and I was looking for it in a 4-ply. So I dropped her a message and I just said, hey, if you're going to be dyeing it up, could you give me a heads up? I would love a skein. Lo and behold, she had some in the house that she didn't realise were not listed in the shop. So Fuzzy Buzzy came home with me as well. I really do love Hannah's stuff. Her dyeing is phenomenal. A lot of people seem to forget that she does the hand dye yarn, and they take her just as the beader in the stitch markers, but her hand dye yarn, if you can get a hold of it, is phenomenal. She did ask what I was planning on making with it, and it wasn't until I had them all sat down that I realised that they would make an excellent fade. Let's see. I really do think they would make an excellent fade. So watch this space. I can see this becoming a kind of cardigan pullover thing. And I think there's enough yardage there for me. Depends on the pattern, obviously, but 4 skeins of 4-ply should be more than enough yardage for me and my round belly. But yeah, squeaky chair. So, blather. You can all leave now if this is not your type of thing, but just a couple of general updates. I have Perth Festival of Yarn next weekend. So excited. So excited. Nervous, but very excited. I will be in the gin night and I will be at the gala meal. I am vending on the Saturday and Sunday as it is a 2-day event. I have a collaboration. So I am collaborating with Aileen of the Little Bush Baby Makes, as I have already mentioned, and she is providing a thistle stitch marker. I will insert a photo. And I have sewn a range of tartan bags. In a very large size. I have never offered this size before. This is definitely either a multiple project bag or it's going to be a sweater size bag. Or a blanket. It would be perfect for quite a hefty blanket. So those they're done. I finished sewing all 20 bags. There's a limited number. And I have been in talks with Aileen since we arranged the original 20, and we will be opening up offers for kind of like a pre-order. So if you were interested, you would need to pre-order through myself, and from there you would need to allow us a set amount of time to make the items and get them to you. So we've still to iron out all the fine details, so don't ask just yet. Once I'm ready to go ahead with the pre-orders, I will be posting on my Instagram. This will be done through Etsy invoices, and no, sorry, not Etsy invoices, PayPal invoices, and not through Etsy, just because it's a lot easier to keep a track of. So there is that, if for those that are not able to attend Perth Festival of Yarn. At the moment there is a limited number. There are 20. I'm going to have 10 on the Saturday and 10 on the Sunday, plus any that might not have sold on the Saturday. And there is no reservation option for this. It is on a first come first serve basis. There are a couple of the tartans that have maybe like 2 colours, so I know for a fact there's 2 green ones, so I'll have 1 green one on the Saturday, 1 green one on the Sunday. But there are some where the colours are literally 1 of that colour. So to make it fair on everybody, I am not allowing anyone to reserve any, and it's on a first come first serve basis. But I wanted to show off a couple of my yarns, so I'm gonna pause because I don't want you to see what's all behind me because it's a mess, and I'm going to show you some of my DK that I'm going to have at Perth. So these are some of the skeins of DK that I'm going to be bringing to Perth. I would just like to point out that the colour on my camera is not true to the colour of these yarns. This is nowhere near as red, this is nowhere near as dark, this is a lot more mint. This is fairly true, as is this, and this is a lot less vibrant in real life. But yeah, I'm really happy with these colours. These are my range of kind of like pastels, and they are on my DK base. I have 5 of each colour. These would be perfect for a DK colorway jumper. And basically, if people don't snap these up, I'm going to be knitting with them. I have decided, or at least I will be dyeing my own lot for making a DK weight jumper. I'm really pleased with them. I'm really enjoying dyeing yarn again. basically, I love these. I want them. If nobody buys them, I'm going to knit a jumper. But yeah, I just wanted to show some of these off. I hope you like them. I hope if you do like them, you will buy them at Perth if you're there. And if they don't sell at Perth, I will put them on my Etsy. I'm not going to take them all for myself straight away, at least. But if you're at all interested, they might be on my Etsy if you are not able to attend Perth Festival of Yarn. So that's pretty much me for this episode. It is definitely a lot shorter than some of the ones I've been putting out recently, but I hope you have enjoyed. If you have enjoyed and you would like to see more in the future, especially my upcoming video from Perth Festival of Yarn, please do hit the subscribe button and the wee bell. And if you're feeling generous, hit the like button. Apparently it makes it a little bit better for people to find my videos. I don't know really how YouTube works, but if you do like it, please do hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up or like button. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and as always, I hope you have a lovely time, happy crafting and whatever else you get up to, and I will speak to you all later. Bye, guys.